My 23 female friend 23 female sent lewd pictures to my husband 31 male, and he rejected her but never told me anything. Sorry if the post is too long. I did my best to summarize. When we were in our senior year of high school, he 31 male was our substitute teacher, and obviously all the girls liked him because he was the only young teacher we had. And I'd 23 female be lying if I said that no one tried to flirt with him. Because we all did at the time. But he was always very professional, and never tried anything with any of us. He and I met again a year after my graduation, and that's when we started dating. And at first my friend 23 female used to joke saying things like that I was very lucky to have what everyone wanted in high school. And at first it was funny because things between my husband and I weren't that serious. But then our relationship became like really serious, and I didn't like those jokes anymore, and I let her know. And she stopped. And for years she never did those kinds of jokes again. She got a boyfriend too, so I thought all those things she said were part of the past. But it was not like that. A few days ago, I was taking pictures of our baby and our dogs with my husband's phone, since his phone is 1,000 times better than mine. And at that moment he received a DM from an anonymous Instagram account. So I opened and I didn't like what I saw at all. Because it was a video of my friend touching herself. At first I was too naive and thought, well, maybe she sent it to the wrong person. But then she said something like she was mad that he blocked her main account. And asked him if he liked the other videos. Which means that she sent him other videos from her main account. So I found the chat, and yes, he had blocked her, but the chat was still there. Which means he can see those pictures and videos whenever he wants, and just thinking about it makes me feel really sick. In that chat she confessed that she has always been in love with him, and that her boyfriend doesn't satisfy her because she can only think about him. And that she knows that lately he's not having much fun, and if he wants she can give him a hand without anyone knowing. And that hurt me so much. Because a few weeks ago we talked about how I felt ashamed of having ex again because I gave birth 2 months ago, and that I feel insecure about my body. But I told her that as good friends that I thought we were because I expected her to give me advice or something. I don't know. I didn't expect her to try to duck my husband. And the only thing my husband told her was that she was crazy, and that he was going to show me the chat so that I can see who she really is, and then he blocked her. But it's been a few days and he never showed me those chats, and that makes me think that maybe he liked those pictures and videos. So I confronted him. And he told me that he doesn't even care about her, and that he didn't tell me anything about those messages because he didn't know how to tell me, and because he thought that finding out about that could have been bad for me. I had a really bad time during my pregnancy. And he has been very concerned about my health ever since. So that's why he said that. And he told me that's why he locked himself in his office every time she came to visit us. Because she makes him feel uncomfortable. Then I asked him if he thinks our ex-life is boring, and he said no. That he is satisfied and that he didn't mind not having ex for weeks because when we had ex again it felt like the first time. And hearing that was really nice. But I can't stop thinking about why he didn't delete the chat. He says it was so he could show me when he's ready. But I don't know. Now we are on vacation, but all I can do is think about that. Even every time we have ex I think that maybe I am not enough, and that's why he didn't delete that chat. To see her pictures and videos. And he noticed that, so he told me 1,000 times that he thinks I am hot, and that he only thinks of me when we have ex, and that he only saw those pictures and videos when he opened the chat the first time. And that he never saw them again. He even told me that the only time he ever masturbated looking at someone's pictures was looking at pictures of me from when I was pregnant. And he swore he doesn't even think my so-called friend is attractive. And I want to believe him, but at the same time I feel confused. We've been together for 5 years, and I never felt that way. And I don't know what to do to stop feeling that way. Maybe it's the hormones, I don't know. But I feel so sad and so bad about myself. And I would like to know how I could deal with this. Too long, didn't read. My friend sent lewd pictures to my husband. He rejected and blocked her, but I did not delete the chat, and now I feel like he didn't delete the chat to see her pictures and videos whenever he wants. It seems pretty clear to me he's being completely honest. It's not an easy conversation to say hi, your friend is trying to duck me, and you've been clear that you're more self-conscious right now. He probably didn't feel like it was the best time, and if he was really trying to hide it without showing, he'd save the pictures and delete the chat. I don't know what people on this sub are smoking, but not deleting chats and pictures and other stuff is completely normal. I work in IT and you'd be surprised, but people are digital hoarders and hardly ever delete anything. Not to mention, he would have to keep them if he planned on showing her proof soon. He just hadn't figured out how to have that conversation yet. Go by the facts you know. 1. You can read the whole chat. He didn't hide it. He called her crazy and blocked her. 2. He hid in his office when she came to visit. 3. Nothing in his actions indicates that he's even remotely interested in her in any way. 4. She used the information you trusted her with to try to get him. He hasn't broke your trust. The rest is your insecurities, which are completely understandable, humane and normal. Most women feel insecure about their bodies during after pregnancy. But that still is your insecurities. Don't put them on your husband. I think in this case your husband has been truthful. He's had good intentions in why he didn't tell you yet. Ill-advised, but still good intentions. He was solely manipulated by your friend. He didn't ask nor want this, and he had no clue how to handle it. Forgive him taking a bit of time to think it through. 5. After he called her crazy and blocked her, she made a new account to continue pestering this man with unwanted soul advances and lewd pictures. OP. Your friend sounds like the problem here. Out her as a crazy perv and kick her to the curb. Your husband sounds like a good man. His only mistake was not delete photos. But good God, for my phone used to save all the scary crap that my mates sent me before I found out how to stop it. He might need those chats as a proof. Update. First story. When I posted that, I hadn't talked to my friend yet. I wasn't going to confront her on the phone. We had to have a face-to-face talk. So when I got back from my trip 2 days ago, I decided to go to her house. And I told her everything I saw, and of course, she made up 1,000 excuses. And being honest, that pissed me off because she was playing the victim. And I wasn't going to believe that crap. So I told her to stop lying, but she kept lying, and she was getting on my nerves. So I started crying because it hurt me to see how she was lying like we hadn't been best friends for years. And apparently that made her mad, because she started saying so many horrible things that I couldn't even believe she was saying that. She said that she always got what she wanted, and that she couldn't understand how someone like me could get what she wanted so much. And even tried to make me look like the bad guy, and accused me of harassing my husband in the past. She says that because I went to the same college where he was doing his PhD. But I didn't know that because I never had contact with him. It was a coincidence. And she knows that perfectly well, but she kept saying things like that anyway. She told me that I hooked up with him because I wanted to prove to her that I can also get what I want. But that's not true. I never planned any of this. It just happened. But according to her, I am the psychopath who harassed him and trapped him with a baby that he didn't want. Which is also a lie because our baby was planned, and she knows that too. So I don't know why she was saying those things. It's like she's gone crazy or something. What hurts the most is that it is as if she thinks that our years of friendship were just a competition. A competition about who was the prettiest, but I always knew this because she was always the prettiest, and I was her shadow, but I was fine with that, the most intelligent, the most successful with men, etc. But for me, our friendship was more than that. I really loved her, and I would never have thought that everything would end like this. Because I trusted her with my whole life. She was there when I took my pregnancy test, when I was pregnant, and even when my daughter was born. And those moments were really important in my life and she knew it. So I don't know what happened to her reacting like this. She is acting like a psycho, and it honestly scares me. If my husband didn't reject her, was she going to sleep with him while pretending to be my friend? Just thinking about it makes me feel sick to my stomach. I told her that now she is dead to me, and she didn't even care. She kept trying to make me feel bad. And of course I left. I didn't want to listen to her. I just want everything that happened to be a dream. But since it isn't, I guess from now on I'll have to learn to live without her. But that's my therapist's business, not Reddit's. Too long didn't read. I talked to my friend. She made excuses and said horrible things about me, and we fought. And I told her that from now on she is dead to me. She sounds like the kind of person that changes to fit the situation, first lying, then excuses, then accusations. Next comes the apologetic phase, if she really wants to regain your friendship, or feels there is anything to gain even at your loss again. I recommend declining and putting your foot down, and saying absolutely not, and don't let her back in your life. You sound hesitant about letting it end at the end of your post. And for your future, I hope that becomes a firm I am better off now without her. Good luck. I hope so. 2. OP is much better off without that person in her life. A person who would try to destroy OP's happiness like that. I don't think she ever was OP's friend. It sounds to me like she was always jealous of OP. Second story. Should I sue my girlfriend for selling my stuff? We are both in our early 20s, and have been together for 3 years. It has been 2 months since we moved in together. When I was a teenager, I was obsessed with collecting Pokemon cards. I had over 5,000 cards in my collection. A lot of them are very crappy, worth 5 cents to $3. But some are worth up to $250. Personally, I never intended to sell them, or at least not in the near future. My girlfriend gave away my entire collection to her cousin 1 month ago without asking me, since he asked her if he could have them when he visited us. She gave them away, believing that since I am an adult now, I won't need them. As I was cleaning my room a few hours ago, I realized my collection box was missing, and I went crazy looking for it. An hour later she came home after running some errands and told me what she did. I told her to get all of them back, and she has refused because it would be humiliating for her. What should I do? I have a recording of her confessing to it, so I can easily get compensated for it in court. But I am assuming that will effectively end the relationship. Though I love her a lot, I believe I would rather have my cards. It doesn't seem right to sue her for this, but I don't know how I can recover my collection. If there is a less aggressive way to handle this, please let me know. Advice. Update. Too long didn't read. She got arrested. The cousin got some but hooping in front of me, and I have almost got my cards back. Holy crap. Never thought this is how 2021 would end. A lot has happened since my first post. First, thank you for the support, some tips, and good luck. I'll start by clearing some assumptions. In my original post I said though I love her a lot, I believe I would rather have my cards. This statement alone pissed some of you, so let me elaborate on that. My first ever 300 cards were from my father's collection. He died of hepatitis C. He was quite into gaming. My mum kept his cards for years and gave them to me when I was in my early teens, and I got hooked. I grew the collection to 5,000 cards. There was immense sentimental value attached to those cards. After my girlfriend refused to talk to the cousin, he refusing to give me the cards when I asked, his parents being jerks to me, I took the legal route. Filed an FIR. Initially, I had trouble since the police didn't care about some cards, but my sister, who is a lawyer, She is about to become a lawyer, told the police the estimated value, and they got interested. We told the police 5 to 6K value of the cards. Things took time. But the police eventually confiscated the cards for $1,987 and got them appraised by a company. They came back with a value of approximately $6,000. I told the police the missing cards were also of substantial value since they were very old. Son of A.B. Word sold the one my father left behind. Cousin told us who he sold to. And those people gave the cards back with no problems. Right now, the police have all the cards. The cousin who I knew had his eyes on my cards, threw my girlfriend under the bus. I know this because he wanted to buy those from me in the past. But I refused. He told the police he bought those in good faith. My girlfriend also tried lying to the police. But since I had her on recording, she got into even more trouble. She got charged with grand larceny and also fined for lying to the police. I should get the cards by the end of this month or by early January. The police just said they need to finalize and file some reports, and then I can have them. As for proof of all this, I had the cards photos front and back, along with some receipts. Some of you were also saying that I should take this to small claim court. This amount is too big for that. At least where I am. Edit. I forgot to add my sister wants to sue all of them for emotional distress, but I don't about that. Any advice on that? This part is interesting. OP writes, when questioned about the butt whooping the girlfriend's cousin got when the police went to confiscate the cards, I and my sister were with them. They got them, left, and we just stood there and his mother slapped the shit out of him. I don't condone violence, but I won't say I feel bad for him. Did I miss how old the cousin is? The fact he kept calling her his girlfriend made me imagine them still living together while all this was going down. Like the cops just swung by their apartment to arrest her, and he was like duck. It was her turn to do the dishes tonight. Guess I am ordering pizza. And guess who's not here to tell me no mushrooms? Hell yeah. Hit like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing to our channel.